She still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Sean Whaley is furious.
She's upset. But 100%.
Happy New Year. Check 1, 2. How the fuck you doing, everyone? Welcome in to a brand new edition of Axe Kick Picks. First episode of 2026. Today is Friday, January 2nd, 2026. Let me be the first to tell you Happy New Year. Kid, Happy New Year. How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, sun bringing in 2026. I can't complain.
Good.
It's been smooth, steady, getting life in order. Everyone's, hopefully following their New Year's resolutions. We're starting right.
No. Yeah, we got a great episode for everyone. It's the first one of the year. Usually when we do that, we got some weeks to kill. We are going to break down our futures. We're going to reveal our 2025 UFC record. I know Joey has every record. I think WWE, boxing, Dana White Contender Series as well. So we'll talk about that. We have futures for every division except the women's flyweight. Unless you found odds. I did not see odds for the women's.
You didn't find any women's? I did.
No. Okay, so that's one I will wing. But that was the last one on the list for me. But then 10 seconds left. We do have Amanda Serrano fighting in
under MVP?
Puerto Rico. No.
Really?
So we'll see. We will see. She fights tomorrow night in Puerto Rico, so we will take a look at that. But yeah, kid. Let's get right into it real quick. I wanted to tell you about we had some fights announced before that. Roma Dunes. I'm thinking of fucking football. Rome
hasn't played half the season.
Yeah. And who hasn't fought in half the season is Rome Delice. He's going to take on your boy Chris Leroy Duncan over the pond in UFC London March 21st. Do you like that fight?
I mean, hey, you might want to strap a rocket to CLD, right? Christian Leroy Duncan, and they're doing him a favor having Roman fight over, like you said, in the pond, over across the pond there. I might heavily favor Christian Leroy Duncan. I think he's a beast. I think it's going to be hard to match his type of standout that he offers. And you can see he's frisky in those scrambling positions. So, he's got some grappling.
Yeah, I think after his last win, they're going to just strap a rocket to him and then just go up. Your boy, Dominic Reyes against Johnny Walker, who I think a lot of people had high hopes on. UFC 327, April 11th. Do you like this fight? I know we all had high hopes for Dominic Reyes in 2025. Tough loss in his last one. Now gets back against Johnny Walker.
Yeah, I mean, sheesh. Not going to be an easy one, but I mean, Johnny Walker, we know him to be able to knock anyone out, but also be able to get knocked out. So it seems kind of even, actually, looking at that matchup, though. I think the age discrepancy might be the fear factor in there for Dom Reyes. He's getting up there in age, trying to make this comeback, trying to make this resurgence. It's a scary game, but always fear an old man and young man's game. That's for sure.
Obviously everyone's making New Year's resolutions. I have a question for you. What is your bold prediction for the UFC in 2026?
Oh, man. Bold prediction in 2026, man.
Want to hear mine first?
Yeah, go ahead. You have one locked and loaded.
Gable Stevenson will be a top 5 heavyweight in the UFC.
Oh, okay. All right.
Look who is dominating now in the UFC.
Wasn't he just on Joe Rogan?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't listen to Joe Rogan like that. But if he was, shout out Gabe Stevenson. Just look at who's dominating. Alexander Volkanovski, wrestler. Piotr Jan, he's a striker, but he can wrestle as well. Islam Makhachev, wrestler. Hamza Shemaev, wrestler. Kayla Harrison, wrestler. BJJ, Mackenzie Dern. What are we talking about? He has a blueprint straight up. The heavyweight division, kind of lackluster, if I'm being honest. Yeah. I mean, Waldo Cortez Acosta, Curtis Blades, another wrestler. He's better than him. So if he could just take a punch, I think he could be a top 5 heavyweight 10 2026.
Yeah, that's that's a hot take. Because he's been jumping around a lot, right?
Yeah.
But I guess all roads are leading him to the UFC. Man, my bold take, it's got to be the UFC, or it could be anything really.
Anything. I just said UFC, but it could be any promotion you want, boxing, WWE, whatever you want.
We see a couple promotions fold in 2026.
PFL?
I'm not saying. How's that? I won't say, but maybe we'll see a couple
Wow.
fold in 2026.
Hopefully not BKFC.
Oh, I don't think they're in trouble. I think they're going to be safe.
Yeah, I think they're locked
They'll
and
be
loaded,
fine, just
kid.
fine.
By the way, obviously, did you hear about the AJ crash in Nigeria? That was
That's
terrible.
scary. And then and the tragedy as well.
Yeah,
You know, his
yeah. I think
trainer and
his
friend.
trainer and friend both passed away, unfortunately. I know he was released from the hospital, I think yesterday or the day before, but it was terrible, and thankfully he didn't die as well. But he's obviously going to be out for some time. He sustained minor injuries in the car accident, but yeah, just terrible news. And I guess your thoughts on the initial reaction on the car crash.
Yeah, it's just absolutely terrible, man. Just prayers to each and every one of their families, and we just hope for a speedy recovery for AJ. And I don't even want to talk about it, putting a damper in plans. I think it's disrespectful. So let the man rest and grieve and recover, and let him do what he needs to do to come back if that's what he wants.
Absolutely. Kid, I was going to ask you, you had it last week. I had to get some time, dig out some things, but for UFC 2025, with all the fight nights, not Dana White Contender Series, because I know that was your thing. I know you were on a really good run, I think, for the first 8-9 weeks. I had a pretty good, looking back, going through every episode it took me some time, but I had a pretty, and I'm going to try to do a better job of keeping track as the year goes on, so I don't have a ton of homework. But I had a pretty good year. Strictly UFC events, I went 182 and 156. That's a 53.8 win rate. So my New Year's resolution: win more. Win more.
That's it. Yeah,
it wasn't bad.
Win more. That's it, man.
I'm not gonna say I had a couple 0-4, 0-5 nights, but not bad. Obviously I don't touch the whole card like you, so some nights I only have 3-4
Yeah,
picks,
I have a lot. I think so. What was your total again?
182 wins to 156 losses.
All right, so you're positive in your record wise. What that means you should definitely be above in units and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So though I'm like you said, I'm under 500 in terms of my bets. All the dogs and everything that we've hit, bro. I'm definitely up in units, but you said it. I touched pretty much the entire board for most of the year, and accumulating almost around like 600 picks. I had a year-to-date record of 284 wins, 300 losses, and 8 pushes, like 8
wow.
8 ties. So like a plus minus is -16, you know what I mean? That's not too bad. Like I said, if we it's funny, it ended with the last loss of the year, getting the Pantoja thing wrong with the freak incident, but it landed me at 300 on the dot in losses, and I would say that's not bad. Like I said, we're definitely going to be up in units, so just following along, tailing along is fun, and it seems to be profitable for both you and I.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know what win rate that is off the top of my head, but all the dogs you've hit, I know you hit some of the parlays as well. So you're definitely up units. As long as you're up units,
yeah,
you're fine. It doesn't really matter about the win-loss record.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and that was just pretty much mixed martial arts. That might have had some like you talked about PFL cards and maybe some Risen and ones thrown in there. That's why there's so many picks. Like hell, for even Dana White Contender Series, I went 30-14.
Yeah,
so
wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, so there's so many mixed martial arts events and promotions out there. I think you could see that there's so much competition out there. If you're not performing at a high level, you could fold going into my bold take. So yeah, it all comes down to those guys.
Dana White Contender Series, was it the totals that you were on like that, the hot streak?
I'm pretty solid with them. You can look into their backgrounds. You could see if the finishes are kind of glaring at you, so you can kind of hit the over unders there. There's some easy money to be making in the guys trying to make their way into the UFC. We found it profitable the past 2 years, and as you said, though I might be under 500 in terms of overall record, with the Dana White Contender Series specifically, we're betting about a 750 clip. So yeah, we're hitting 3/4 of our bets every time.
What was Dana White Contender Series your best promotion or best series that you had?
I think because of the limit of it, you know what I mean? I think you get yourself a little in trouble by going as deep as I do. But yeah,
but not really if you're tailing along 30-14.
But I'm saying the Dana White Contender Series, it's only a little surface level. You know, we're not going, like I said, in too deep, touching too much of the card. There's about 4 or 5 fights in 3 months, right? Not that long of a season, so you can kind of like focus in and make sure you're not only profitable, but you do have a good record wise. So yeah, I know, like boxing was good. We even had WWE picks throughout the year, so it's fun just going over all the combat sports and sports entertainment around the world.
Yeah, well, we have to win more. We are capable of it. It's been 2 years profitable here for the show for both Joey and I, and we're looking for 2026, another profitable year. I know our futures weren't as profitable. I know you hit 2 or 3, so you were a little more profitable than I was.
Yeah. I was upset about that.
We got to do better, and there's no time like the fucking present, kid.
Yes.
So before we get into our futures, a quick word from our sponsor, brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry. What are we watching? Maybe Amanda Serrano tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with our Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink, I believe, here at Axe Kick Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. I got my notebook. I feel like an old man. I got my notebook.
Hey, no one's better than physical media, my friend.
Yeah, because I lose everything on my apps or my my notes app or whatever. I like everything. It's tangible. I could go back and I could check it. We will start in the men's heavyweight division for 2026. Now, in order for us to cash, they need to be champion on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2026, or whenever the last promotion is for 2026. And we will start in the men's heavyweight division. Favorite, Tommy Boy Aspinall, -180. Cyril Gahn, +400.
Yep.
John Jones, +500. Alexander Volkov, +500. Curtis Blades, 10-1. Alex Pereira, 11-1. Sergey Pavlovich, 13-1. Waldo Cortez Acosta, 15-1.
Yeah.
Just to name a bunch, but I'll let you kick this one off, kid. What do you like?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of interesting names there. I see now looking down. I mean, you brought it to the attention. I actually totally skipped over him. I see Gable Stevenson at 40-1, right? Is that 4,000 plus 4,000 is 40-1?
40-1.
Yeah.
It's not plus 4,000. It's 40-1. Yeah.
If it's that's why I'm trying. I always try to get the terminology correct. We thought maybe the Cortez was maybe a hot ticket item, but no. Oh snap! We got Mario Pinto for breakout heavyweight this year. I mean, he's super talented. Bro is absolutely uber talented out there, so we can definitely see that. I think I have a little controversial take here because I like going and I like storylines and we talk about Tom Aspinall having the plot armor, and I mean it's volatile to take John Jones in this spot. It's not often you get to see the GOAT at like +500 odds, so I was tempted to do that there, but I'm going with Alex Pereira, man. No one has more plot armor than Alex Pereira. And he's mentioned he wants to go to heavyweight. I might have been a year behind or a year ahead in terms of seeing this playing out this way.
He has a girlfriend now.
And it's Tracy Cortez, bro. That was crazy. So, yeah, man. I mean, he I guess anybody at the older age, we're seeing a lot of these guys still stick around at their age and they could ride off in the sunset at any time. But I don't know. I think he's going to stick around. I know you mentioned the wrestling aspect of playing strong in 2026, and I agree for the most part, but it just seems that he's able to outgrapple the most people, and he's got that power advantage. And I mean, he'll be able to do fine at heavyweight. I feel like his size and his power, I think, will translate well. So taking a little bit of a chance with Alex Pereira. The odds I saw for him at heavyweight were 11, right? Plus 1100.
Yeah, 11-1,
Yeah.
Alex Pereira.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna take a shot again. Like I said, it's awesome to see him and his story. Let's see if he can claim triple champ status, right? It'd be a triple champ status at this time. So
yeah. He's already a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And if he goes and does that, he's already hinted at it. He said he wants to do it. I was thinking at it. Shout out Phil in the chat. I do think Mario Pinto for breakout heavyweight is a very fun play. I wish they had breakout. You know how like they had breakout or comeback player of the year for the NFL? That would be a very fun thing for the UFC.
Yeah.
For me, it's a guy you actually mentioned at 15-1.
Cortez Acosta?
Give me Elvis's cousin,
Awesome,
Walt
boy.
Cortez
You're really doing it.
Acosta, 16-2. He's fought 5 times in 2025. He's 4-1,
Yeah.
back-to-back first-round knockouts. He jumped all the way up to number 5. And, you know, when is Tom Aspinall going to return? He's probably going to come back. He's going to fight Cyril Gane. They have to run it back. And I just think Salsa Boy, I think he's positioned well on the sideline because he's 1 win away. You know, if he could take care of business against Derek Lewis coming up.
That's a title fight. It's like if you beat Josh Emmett, you get a title shot.
In a division where every fighter has a puncher's chance, I'm going with my baseball guy from the Cincinnati fucking Reds who throws out knockout punches. If he knocks out Derek Lewis, he is next after that rematch. And if he wins...
We were in agreement with Josh Van as our breakout fighter of the year. But this guy, he could really have been the case. And he outdid Tom, you know, getting poked in the eye. And we don't talked about the severity, but he got poked and went on to get that knockout finish. So Bro's a guy.
Rose is the guy. That's my guy. All right, let's go to the men's light heavyweight division. Favorite, Hamzat Chimaev at -150.
How does that make sense?
Because just like Alex Pereira's flirting with heavyweight, so is he. Alex Pereira, the champion, +150. Yuri Prohaska +600. Magomed Ankalaev, my guy, Big Unk +700. Carlos Ulberg, hide your girlfriends, +800. Asmat Murakatov, 25-1. Jamal Hill, 50-1. Bogdan Guskov 50-1, and then so on and so forth. But what do you got for the light heavyweight?
Yeah, man. Bro, I haven't seen anyone been able to touch this guy, bro. I think he's the darkest of dark horses throughout all of the divisions to become champ at end of 2026, and that's a local. That's a guy fighting at a K dojo in Azamat.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that he has that touch of death aspect, and he seems to be able to do everything. And we don't know how old the guy is, and maybe it's like crazy to say to back him here, but I just see how the light heavyweight division can pan out, especially if Alex Pereira does move on. It kind of opens up things. Do you really trust a Carlos Ulberg? Really? You know what I mean? They're going to push Bogdan Guskov up that high. I mean, Pereira can stay around. I don't know if you think Yuri I'd really like Yuri Prohaska as well. But I
25-1.
Yeah, I really want to take a chance on Azamat here. If not now, when, right? I think this is the time to back our guy here. We've been talking about him. He's undefeated, right?
Yeah,
like I said, it hasn't even been close, really. Like you said, I want to back him right now. 25-1. Let's do it.
It's funny because I wrote three guys' name down for this.
Carlos Ulberg, Azamat Murzakanov, and Yuri Prohaska.
No, your guy Murzakanov, Hamza, and then I didn't want to lay -150 for a whole year, so I am gonna go with the other guy you mentioned. Give me Yuri Prohaska, who he was enshrined behind me at +600. Even though Hamza, he's coming off that crazy win against DDP. I think it's very surprising that he's the favorite at -150 to be the light heavyweight champion, with obviously Alex Pereira, he's having his sights on the heavyweight division. So a vacant title could be made in 2026.
Yes.
So he's a former champ. and he would be in the front line.
He's the
if
only one.
Pereira-
That's the only one he's lost to is Alex Pereira.
Yeah, so I think it's an excellent play. Plus 600 to
Yep.
become champion again.
Love
Yeah,
that.
give me Yuri Prohaska at plus 600.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
I wanted to get some value, and I thought that was the best way. I wanted to go with the Jersey guy.
Yeah.
But I had a feeling he's 1 or 2 away, and he doesn't fight as often as I would like.
Yeah, and I looked at Olberg as well. That's why I did mention him. And I mean, a case could be made, but we got to see. Wait, doesn't he have a matchup as well coming up, right, in 2026?
Yeah, exactly.
So we got to see how that pans out for him. He could go. You start the year with a pick of our futures with a loss. It's not looking good for the rest of the year.
Good. Trust me, it's happened.
Yeah.
All right, okay, let's head down, and we will head to the middleweight division. The champion is the favorite at minus 350. Nasruddin Imavov plus 300. Anthony fucking Hernandez at plus 550. DDP at 16-1. Sean Strickland 25-1. Caio Bahayo 30-1. All in. Brandon Allen 40-1.
I was gonna say, where's Brandon Allen in all this? 40-1.
40-1. RDR 50-1. Michael Page 60-1, and so on and so forth. But
he's trying to get welterweight fights MVP. Interesting to hear that. I mean, I guess you could say DDP still there with like Izzy, like they're always kind of hovering around. I mean, I think why
80-1.
Yeah, I think why I didn't pick like Sean Strickland or Anthony Fluffy Hernandez is because I think with the fight that they have matched up, right, the winner coming out of that, you're gonna pick the wrong future, and you're, like we said, starting off 2076 with a loss, it's not gonna pan out well. So I stayed away based off of that matchup right there. But you could see either one of those winners, like I said, maybe getting close to the title. But Hamzat Chimaev seems a lot to overcome, right, in that weight class. I know you said to him flirting to moving up the weight class, and you had him there, right? You said he's going to be your light. No, you have Yuri Prohaska light heavyweight. So you kind of agree though that Hamzat's still going to be here at welterweight then if you have him at champion, because I think Hamzat is a championship level fighter, and maybe Nasruddin Imavov is another name you can mention, but I got to stick with the champ. I think the odds are in our favor there, and though we're laying a little bit, I saw him a minus 150. I guess there's some overseas, but yeah, you're going to have to lay some chalk, I think, in some champions that are right now, maybe some that are going to be returning.
Yeah, the green book is minus 350. And you would think that I do, but I have a major upset. Give me the Frenchman Nasruddin Imavov at plus 300. Obviously, recent history is showing you Chimaev is probably going to vacate it eventually, move up to light heavyweight, and I think it's clearing a path for Nasruddin Imavov. He's the number 2 ranked contender. He's on a 5-fight win streak. His nickname is the Sniper, and he fucking is going to snipe his way into undisputed belt at middleweight. And I just think he has knockout power. We saw him knock out Israel Adesanya. He got the unanimous decision over Caio Bahayo, who he hasn't lost in nearly a decade. This guy is legit 17-4. Who is better than Nasruddin Imavov in the middleweight division? DDP? Yeah, okay. Yeah, give me the Frenchman Nasruddin Imavov at plus 300. That's my guy.
Nasruddin Imavov, man, that's a good pick, man. I think he like you said, there's a couple guys that are dark horses here that really shouldn't be. Like they've kind of proven themselves, and if not already should be at the title, if not holding one. You could mention something Armin and a couple other people.
Kid, this one was one of my favorite ones to break down, and I wrote down like 3 to 4 names, but I eventually came down one, and it is the men's welterweight division. Obviously, you have the champion Islam Makhachev, or not the champion. He is the champion. Kamaru Usman. Were you surprised to see him all the way up there at plus 300?
No, I mean, he's the champ, he's not the current champ, but he's a champ. We took him for granted when he was champion, and I got to give him some respect. So I guess there's some bets out there for him and why the odds are the way they are, but
it's crazy.
I think they're arguing that he can get that matchup with Islam to kick it off, right? They're saying, he'll skip the line. You said that, and boom, Kamaru Usman beats Islam. And that completely wipes out my ticket because I got Islam still staying there. It's like 2 weight classes back to back that I had to stick with. I got Hamzat Chimaev, too much wrestling, and then Islam Makhachev with the grappling. And, to achieve GOAT status, he must just go on to defend the belt. And he's been a safe pick for me all around, not only in the futures, but just as a, straight bet all the time.
Islam Makhachev minus 200. Let me write that down for
Yeah.
you.
I see minus 150, but let's do your odds that you have.
Yeah, Kamaru Usman Shavkat is at plus 500. Michael Morales plus 500. Ian Machado Gary at plus 500.
Those are the
Prates,
names right there for
yeah.
me. Like you were saying, floating some around is Morales, Rachmanov, and Gary, pretty much.
Prates is at 10-1. Ilya Taporia is 12-1. JDM 20-1. So on and so forth. But yeah, the ones I had: Prates,
Yeah.
Machado Gary,
Yep.
Rachmanov,
Yep. And Morales.
and that is going to be my pick. Michael Morales at plus 500.
Undefeated.
Ian Machado Gary likely earned a shot, I think, or Kamaru Usman against Islam after that win against Bilal Hamid. But Shavkat still knocking on the door, and but his limited activity should keep him out of the picture for probably a while. So we'll see. And I think that perfectly sets up a number one contender fight between Carlos Prates and Michael Morales. 19-0. He's undefeated. He's 26-year-old striker, 14 knockouts, and he's finished each of his last 3 fights in the first round. 89% takedown defense as well. People are sleeping on his takedown defense, and that poses a serious threat whoever winds up holding the belt.
You match him up, I might favor him over Ian Machado Gary even, and look what he did against Prates. So
yeah,
right there, that gives you kind of a leeway, right, to bring Morales into the title picture.
Plus 500. I'm doing it, and I'm all doing like storylines because I feel like that's the way, and I'm all trying to take plus money. I looked back at my notes last year, and I laid some juice, and I don't want to do that again this year. If I hit 1 or 2, I'm gonna be up for the year. So let's hope I hit it. Let's go to the next one, and we will head to the UFC lightweight division. Ilya Taporia, the champion, is the favorite at minus 200, followed by Arman Tsarukyan at plus 200. Paddy Pimblett plus 300. Justin Gaethje plus 500. Max Holloway plus 700. Charles do Bronx Oliveira plus 800. Then you get like BSD 20-1, Rafael Fiziev 20-1, so on and so forth. But what do we like for the lightweight division?
I mean, I really think, I guess you can incorporate Justin Gaethje in the mix here. But I don't know. I really think that Patty's going to get past him. I think he's going to pass that test. I do. What are the names that stand out, right? It's probably that. It's probably Patty, Arman. I think you could get juice out of those 2 guys. But like I said, I just fear that it's going to still pause for Arman, that he's not going to get his opportunity, as we talked about those that haven't really gotten their title shot yet. Because, Patty does beat Gaethje. I think Ilya, that will be his first match back and for the unification title. And I just fear that like nobody wants to really fight El Matador, like especially coming off of everything that has happened in his family and his personal life. I think especially if he's facing bad blood with Patty, I genuinely think that they need to be careful in watching that fight. Like I don't know. I don't think he's going to put his career at risk or anything like that, but like genuinely it might go in there with bad intentions to hurt Patty. They might need to have a stretcher nearby for him because that's going to be a crazy fight. So yeah, I mean, I saw a minus 110. I didn't see that he was that favorited going in with all the, issues behind the doors, but
what book are you looking at?
My pick is, I had Bet Online. I don't know what that is. I'm seeing Bet Online. But yeah, Ilya Taporia, I'm gonna take him. I'll lay it again. I'll lay the chalk.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Bet Online because I didn't know they had futures. Bet Online's a nice little offshore, no free shoutouts, but they're a nice. They're nice. I'll say that they're a nice offshore account.
Maybe they're being generous with their.
Yeah, they are. They are really generous. That's why it's offshore. But yeah. First time today, I'm going to lay it as well. I'm going to take El Matador, Ilya Taporia, 17-0. And he announced a few weeks back he's going to be out of action for at least April, May to address a personal matter. So his absence obviously is going to set up this interim title bout between Patty and Justin. Doesn't matter to me, though. Taporia's initial plan obviously is going to move up to 170 for a super fight against Islam, but that's delayed. And as a pending unification bout, but for either Paddy Pimblett or Justin Gaethje, for inevitable title shot for Arman Tsarukyan. So I just think all this turmoil and all these missing parts that have to be played out, it eventually is going to have Ilia Topuria keep the belt for the foreseeable future, at least for this year. So I'm going to take Ilia Topuria here at minus 200 as well. So
Yeah.
first time we're seeing eye to
We're
eye.
aligned. Yeah, we're
I love
aligned
it.
on that one.
All right, kid, let's go to the men's featherweight division, and it is the champion Alexander Volkanovski is the favorite at plus 170.
Yep.
Diego Lopez plus 200, Lerone Murphy plus 300, Mozart Evolov plus 350, Lord Silva plus 500,
Yair plus 500,
Yair Rodriguez plus 800, Steve Garcia 10-1, Aljo 13-1, Sugar 25-1, and Arnold Allen 30-1. What do you like?
Almighty Arnold Allen. The matchups I want to see in this weight class are really, I do think they need to square together, and I know they're surging, but if you want to get them to, title contention, I think they need to meet up sooner or later, and that's similar records. I think 18-5-1 Yusuf Zalal and 19-5 Steve Garcia. I think that's a banger of a matchup. So you could put the fast track on them and be willing to take a risk bet with them, but I don't see it in 2026. I just think that's a matchup that I want to see. And the reason why I mentioned that is because it goes up into the other matchup that I want to see, because if you're giving Diego Lopez the title shot against Alex Volkanovski here, that means you got to get Lerone Murphy fighting Movsar Evloev. And you talked about it. The wrestling aspect of this year is going to be a big factor as it's played in the past. And I do see that even though Lerone Murphy stepped in for Movsar Evloev and in getting Aaron Pico out of there may have put him ahead of him, I feel like these two undefeated fighters are going to square off for the number one contender of whoever wins. It's not going to be a rematch. Even if Diego Lopez beats Alex Volkanovski, I think they're going to move on like they're doing with other weight classes. So my pick is something that you're going to be really shocked in. It's Movsar Evloev at plus 400, a guy who I've been against for a long while and saying he's not deserving of a title shot, but I do think that once he gets it, he's going to make the most of it and become new featherweight champion.
Give me Movsar Evloev at plus 350. I agree, because Alexander Volkanovski, he's displayed retire rumors, and he's kind of put him to bed.
He might not be there. It might be vacant.
He might not be there. So I think it feels increasingly unlikely that 37-year-old Alexander Volkanovski, legend, is still going to be holding the belt by the end of the year. The division has emerging contenders all around it, and he's 19-0. Obviously, a string of injuries and fight cancellations have kind of sidelined Movsar for a little bit in 2025, but he has already logged wins over Dan Ige, Diego Lopez, Arnold Allen, and former bantamweight champion Hall of Famer Aljamain Sterling on the rise as well in this division. So he's going to get his shot, and he's going to win. I tell you, wrestling has been dominant in the UFC for quite a while, and it's going to be true in the featherweight division. Give me Movsar Evloev at plus 350.
Back-to-back alignments on those.
Think we might be back-to-back in the bantamweight one as well.
Ooh, 3 in a row.
Let's see. Bantamweight, the favorite is the champion, current champion, Piotr Jan at plus 100, Merab Dvalishvili at plus 150, Umar Nurmagomedov at plus 250, Sean O'Malley at plus 800, Song Yadong 15-1, Peyton Talbot 30-1, Mario Bautista 50-1, Davison Figueiredo 50-1, and so on and so forth. But what do you got here for bantamweight?
I think he looked down at the line. I think actually the one who low key with the biggest plus odds who has a chance is Ayman Zahabi. Low key can find his way surging to the top there, but
50-1.
That might be a dollar bet. Just with that $50 in your pocket if you win that. But no, I wouldn't lay too much there. I just, I'm going back to the well out of all my picks. I, try to play it smart with where I placed my fighters. But I think in this one, I was a year early. I thought he would be the one to maybe catch Merab at the right time. But Merab was just rolling hot, and he got the better of him. But I think on a technical basis, on the age advantage, that he's going to have a lot more time to develop and just become a complete fighter. And whoever is there for him, I think whether it's Merab or Piotr Jan, because I think they're getting that rematch, right? That's most likely what should happen. Mm-hmm. I think that Umar Nurmagomedov could be the champion at the end of 2026. He's just special. And I just think that they're going to keep putting it home that he can get to the title. And so whether they give him one more fight as we wait for what's going to happen at the title, he's right there in the waiting. So there's no one else really I see. You could say maybe Song Yadong and Sean O'Malley, the winner of that. But as we talked about, the fights that are happening early in the year are going to be volatile for your futures picks. So I think I'm going to play it safe and picked up guys who are poised for the title. And that's why my other two choices were between Petr Yan or Merab. But I'm going to go and take the youth here and take Umar.
I took him last year, and I was one fight away. He stunned the world. Upset of the year. I got to go back and run it back with Merab Dvalishvili at plus 150.
Not bad. Yeah, man.
I mean, obviously, Petr Yan stunned
so
him.
Close, bro. He had the – oh, man, I feel for you.
He stunned him in a masterclass. You got to tip your cap to Petr Yan. It was one for the ages.
He repeat that performance against Merab or against Umar, as our picks indicate. We have the others.
But here's the thing about a 1 in a million performance like Yan. It's extremely unlikely for him to do it again. And I just think Merab is expected to take on a much-needed break. Relax the body, relax the mind. He deserves it. He defended the belt 4 times in a calendar year. An immediate title shot, I agree, feels inevitable upon his return. So give the machine some rest. And when he finally gets his chance to resume his mission, fully recharged, I think he's going to come in extremely motivated with a point to prove, and then I just don't think anyone's going to beat him. Give me Merab at plus 150.
Nice pick. Sticking with your guy.
I'm sticking with my guy.
Me too. I did as well. I stick with Omar, just like I did last year. So
let's go to the flyweights, and we will go to the champion, and he is not favored. The favorite is Alexander Pantoja at minus 120. Joshua Van is the champion at plus 300. Manel Cap plus 600. Taisura Taira plus 700. Corey Horiguchi plus 900. Amir Albazi 10-1. Kai Kara France 15-1, and so on and so forth. But what do you like here for the flyweight?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot between Amir Albazi and Kyoji Horiguchi. I think people were, looking at that as, something that could happen for either guy. I think a lot of people are actually picking Kyoji Horiguchi. I think they like the story, but you look at Tatsuro Taira, a guy of the same country, younger, maybe the same skill set. Maybe he has an edge over. This is my funnest division to break down because there's just so many paths. Like you said, you could take Alexander Pantoja yet again with how he's lapped the division, but then a freak incident gives Josh Van the title shot. Or you could see, Manel Cat with how he's looked with 3 straight knockouts in that division. I mean, he looks like an absolute threat. Or who knows, with his rival Mohakaya maybe coming back in the UFC, who knows what happens there, right? With it being very volatile and back and forth in this division and a lot of things having to go their way to actually get the title, I think the safest bet here is taking the current champ at the plus money that he's at. So I stuck with Josh Van. He's the only third pick that I've had to be and still at the end of 2026. I think it was Islam and Hamzat for me and the other choices. But yeah, I just think that he's got really good standing. He didn't get to showcase it. We didn't know what to really expect from that fight. It could have gone his way throughout it, besides the injury. So I think Josh Van's really, really good. He put Myanmar on the map. I mean, he is really, really good all around. This youth, you remember, remind us, all these guys in the weight class too, again, a little bit older than where he's at. Only the second youngest champion in UFC history behind John Jones. I think he's got so much in the tank, and it's just a safe bet. Like I said, as current champ, he's going to have to lose it, and I think he's only going to fight like once or twice this year. Let's be real about it, right? Even though he's young, it's up to him maybe if he does get through them quickly, if he'll fight more than the twice. But what is it? It's if Pantoja is going to be ready to get that rematch, right? He might not. And look what happened to, say, like a Dominic Cruz. He had injury and the layoff was so long that he had to fight someone in his return before getting that title shot. So we could see the same thing here for Pantoja, right? So yeah, it could be a whole year before he even gets back into the title picture. So everything else being volatile, I'm taking Josh Van. Give me that. I said plus 550 on some book, but plus 300 is just fine.
Interesting. I am very interested you're going with the champion. I actually did not expect you to go with that one. I'm going to go with your boy, Manel Cap, at plus 600.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
After picking up 3 consecutive knockouts in 2025, Manel Cap has finally become a legit title contender. And if Pantoja is unable to be, like you mentioned, Joshua Van's next opponent due to his injury, Cap should be next. Van's an unbelievable striker, but I think Manel Cap might have the power advantage over him, and he presents a ton of problems for Joshua Van in a potential fight in 2026. So I think it's great value. One, getting Cap at plus 600, and he's already shown that he could be a real threat in this title fight. So yeah, give me Manel Cap here at plus 600.
Wow. Yeah, I was tempted to take Manel Cap. I do you think what he's doing it right now, knocking everyone out, is something in the hands? But if there's anyone that can match him on the feet, it is my pick. It is Josh Van. So hey, man, the best man win in that fun division, the flyweight division, funnest division in my opinion.
Let's head to the women's, and we will head to the bantam. We'll start with the bantamweight
Let's
division for the UFC. Champion Kayla Harrison at minus 120. It's not terrible. Minus 120. Amanda Nunes. Plus 100, Valentina Shevchenko plus 200, Raquel Pennington plus 600, Big Norm plus 650, Juliana Pena plus 650, Ketlin Vieta plus 700, and then no one honestly really has
just the state of this division,
But what do you got here for the bantamweight?
I think it's I guess you can get a little frisky if you're gonna pick a Valentina Shevchenko, but I think she's done her due diligence at that weight class and she knows to stay away from it, as she kind of taught Wei Li Zhang that lesson, right? Stay in your weight class. The only one who's kind of dark horsing to me here maybe is the little Jacqueline Cavalcante. She's looked really, really good as of late, but it could be the level, like we talked about the state of this weight class, right? It's probably just a 2-horse race between Amanda Nunes or Kayla Harrison. And, Amanda Nunes is the GOAT. The way she's strike against a lot of her opponents, it seems that it's, there's a night and day difference with the ability that she's to put behind her punches and hurt her opponents. But the same can be said about Kayla Harrison's grappling. I mean, she's peaking right now. And it's not that she's completely old, Amanda Nunes, being a 37 and away from the fight game for about 2 years. I just think that it's just a bad time to come back because it is Kayla Harrison in her peak, doing what she needs to do, making 135 as easy as she possibly can with her frame, but doing it at a efficient level enough that she gets in there and she's at full level, full energy, and she's going to able to dominate. I think the wrestling's too strong. We talked about it as a theme. I got to take the American here. We don't have really many American champs. I'm looking at the board now, if any. I got to keep one on the board, and that to be Kayla Harrison, minus 120.
I agree. I'm taking the champion who should fight at the White House. She beat Juliana Pena for the title back in June. She is going to fight Amanda Nunes in January. And, obviously Amanda Nunes, high respect for her. I think there is a debate to see whether Valentina or her is the GOAT. And obviously she has an elite resume, and she is the most accomplished women's fighter in the UFC, but she's coming off a significant layoff. And if Harrison gets past Nunes in January, I just don't think there are any other clear contenders, in my opinion. And I just think Kayla winds up rolling in 2026. I think she gets past a really tough Amanda Nunes. And if she gets past that, like I said, I just don't think there's too much in that division. Maybe a big dark horse is my girl Norma Dumont. But outside of that, no one really.
Her last performance, took the air out of that for me.
She got the win.
There was a robbery, though, no?
I don't think so. I had Norm.
Okay.
Yeah, give me Kayla Harrison at minus 120 as well.
We're in agreement there.
Another one we are in agreement with. Let's go to the strawweight division. And the champion for the strawweight division is actually the favorite, Mackenzie Dern at plus 125, Zhang Wei Li plus 150, Tatiana Suarez plus 500, Yan Shannan plus 700, Amanda Lemos 15-1. Our girl Fatima Klein 16-1. Maybe not this year.
Yeah,
but she's gonna be a pick soon.
She's there.
16-1.
I think 2027 maybe.
Yes, Lupi under her 17-1. Verna Kakarajanjeroba 20-1, and that's about it. But what do you like here for strawweight?
Jandiroba, but I saw nobody really giving Mackenzie Dern any respect, man. And as tempted as I want to do it, I can kind of see why. It's like a placeholder champion, right? Until
don't disrespect
Wei Li Zhang gets back. No, but let's be real, right? We wouldn't have her as champion if it wasn't her trying to go for greatness, Wei Li Zhang. And I think she showed that she's kind of levels above this weight class. So Man, I do agree with what you said though about Fatima Klein. I think we're a year away from her breaking through and becoming a champion because it could be just like you said, perfect timing, matchmaking, and how the pieces fall for her. She could be set up nicely. But I think for now, the plus money you're getting to pick Wei Li Zhang is the smart move here. So I saw it at plus 250, and that's what I was like going to jump on. I was like, I gotta take that for her to reclaim her throne. I think it'll be a good fight. I think Mackenzie Dern won't absolutely be a pushover. She's going to put up a great fight, and I think there's always a chance that that submission is live in every one of her fights. It's just if she chooses to use it if the fight gets there. So I would take Wei Li Zhang over her with her credentials and everything that she's done. So yeah, plus 250, I'll take Wei Li Zhang.
Hey, look at Rose, just a kicker's chance. She knocked out Zhang Wei Li.
That's all it takes.
I got it at plus 250 as well. It is at plus 150, so money is coming in already within like 48 hours. I agree. As much as I wanted to take Mackenzie Dern, she's won 4 consecutive title fights at strawweight before, trying to be great, moving up, trying to fight Valentina. And even though, she's coming off, a loss, Zhang Wei Li, I think she's going to re-enter the title picture immediately at 115. She's the former champ of the division. And, since Zhang Wei Li has a chance she's probably going to be the favorite in the fight against Mackenzie Dern. Plus 250. I just think that's excellent value for Zhang Wei Li.
Yeah, excellent.
So shop around. But, yeah, I got Zhang Wei Li. I already actually bet it 2 days ago. So, yeah,
nice.
I got
you got
Wei
some.
Li.
All right.
I got Zhang Wei Li up
2 for 2 with the women's. Yeah. I thought we were aligned exactly last year. Turned out we had some different opinions last year on the women's, but I think you did it this way. You skipped the flyweights.
Because I didn't have odds on the green book.
But I was gonna say you're doing it on the fly. But okay, so is it my turn to step in here?
Yes, please.
Okay, because I see the flyweight champions odds here posted, and it's plus 160 for Valentina Shevchenko to retain. Mm-hmm. Your girl, our girl, Natalia Silva, plus 250. I'm here to be the new champion. Manon Fiorot, right? At plus 275. Rose plus 500. My last year's pick, Erin Blanchfield, plus 550. Then you got some big, steeper odds. 12-1 for Macy Barber, 25-1 for both Jazz Davicius and Grasso. And then I think you can only really mention the plus the 30-1, the Miranda Maverick and Wong Kong. I just I think they're.
What about Tracy Cortez?
We saw what happened. She got choked unconscious by Erin Blanchfield, and even now going into 2026, unfortunately for Erin Blanchfield, I can't back her this year again. If there's ever a time to back her, it's gonna be this year. I'm taking Natalia Silva. I'm going all in on our girl to end the year as champion. Whether Valentina will be there or not, even if she is, I think she can dethrone her. And I think her grappling, her striking, and just everything about her. We saw the showcase she did against former champion Alexa Grasso. She's doing that to her. I think she can do that to most women in this weight class. So yeah, another plus 250, very valuable hit. I'm taking Natalia Silva.
What is Tracy's odds? Do you have
5,000, 50-1?
Well, she is training with her boyfriend now.
You can't do that to yourself.
So we'll see. Who is
Valentina?
No. Who? But Rose. Who isn't Natalia Silva? Who's she fighting next? Isn't Rose fighting her?
Well, that's why I said I know that Natalia Silva just got off beating Alexa Grasso. So, let's see.
Yeah, I think they are in UFC 324, the first one. Yeah, Rose Namajunas versus Natalia Silva because Alexa Grasso canceled. Not canceled.
Nice.
It was
Respect.
What's Rose?
What is her odds?
Yeah, plus 500.
No, plus 550.
Give me Rose Namajunas. I mean, she's going to beat Natalia Silva, and then she's going to have a date with Valentina Shevchenko, the Bullet. And I think everyone counted her out against Zhang Wei Li, and she kicked her to the Shadow Realm. So I think Rose is close. She is a former champ. She's a Hall of Famer. I think Rose is live here at plus 500 or 550. That is so. Yeah, I'm gonna take Rose here, kid. That's
We
plus
got to get our
550.
production together. We're lagging out.
You're lagging?
I think everyone just saw a black screen for about a minute because I didn't hear anything you said.
Oh, okay. So I'll repeat it. Yeah, I'm taking Rose just because I think
Rose.
she's gonna beat Natalia Silva, and then she has a date with Valentina, and we already saw her against all odds against Zhang Wei Li, where she kicked her into the Shadow Realm. So I just
Hey.
think that Rose, if she could
Wow,
get
that's a
past
story.
Natalia, she's a former champ. Everyone counts her out, and Rose said it the best. She is the best.
I think we're both live in that. I think made the best
who'd
man
you
win
take,
and
Natalia
best woman win.
Silva?
Yeah, so I think
What
winner of
was
that
the odds?
Natalia Silva is half, so she's plus 250. Rose is plus 550. I think that's a great bet. Even though Manon Fio is still there,
she's done.
I think after that dominant loss,
I think
they're gonna move past her because they were hesitant to giving her the title in the first chance, but you got history with Rose Namajunas. But like I said, big statement for Natalia Silva to get a win over Rose Namajunas in 2026, and then if she becomes champion, beating Valentina Shevchenko, she will be first line to be my fighter of the year, low key, better than all the everyone. Natalia Silva, breakout fighter of the year and fighter of the year. If she does that,
we are aligned in 4. So just to recap, men's heavyweight division, you took Alex Pereira at plus 11-1.
Yeah.
I took Elvis's cousin Waldo Cortez Acosta at 15-1.
Both ballsy picks on that.
Yes. Men's light heavyweight division, Joey, you took our boy from New Jersey, Amzat Marikanov at plus 25-1. I took Yuri at plus 600.
I love that pick.
Middleweight, you took Hamzat Shemaev at minus 350. I took Nasruddin Imavov at plus 300.
Yep, didn't have to lay any chalk for that.
Welterweight, you took the champ Islam Makhachev at minus 200. I took Michael Morales at plus 500.
That's a shock.
Yeah.
We are aligned on
he's one away. He's one away.
He is.
Lightweight, we are aligned. We both took El Matador, Ilia Topuria at minus 200. We are aligned in the featherweight division as well. Mozart Ivalov at plus 350. Bantamweight, you went back with your guy, Umar Nurmagomedov at plus 250.
And so did you.
And I went back with Merab at plus 150. And then the flyweight, I said it. I was like, I'm very surprised you went with Joshua Van.
Was that the biggest shock? Or was the Azamat
for me? Yeah, no, this one. Because I wrote his name down
Van.
too. Yeah, Joshua Van was the biggest surprise for me. And I took Manel Cap at plus 600.
And I love that pick because that was my second choice.
And then for the women's, we are aligned in 2 and 3. For the bantamweight, we took the All-American Kayla Harrison at minus 120. For the women's strawweight, we took Zhang Wei Li at plus 250 to get her title back. And then the flyweight, I took a shot in the dark. Give me the champion Rose, and you took Natalia Silva, who I want it on record, though. I have said she's going to be a future champion.
Kind of called all the rise, and we got Fatima Klein in 2027.
Yes, that's the next girl we were right about.
Yep, Natalia Silva in 2026. Or so we hope. You don't as much, but if we can agree.
No, but I would on one hand, because if she winds up beating Rose, she's next. She'll go on and beat Valentina, because I think whoever wins that fight's going to beat Valentina.
Yeah.
And then I was right 2 years ago, so I don't mind. And then I just hope
better late than never.
That's what they say. Kid, that was fun. That was very fun. Hopefully, we'll be back next year to let you know how we did, kid.
The profitable one. That's all.
Yeah.
Here's to that.
10 seconds left, and we are going to go to Puerto Rico, where January 3rd in the Roberto Clemente State Coliseum in San Juan, Puerto Rico, we got Amanda Serrano, who is minus 2,500 against Renee Tellez, who's 11-1. She's 22. She's 13-0. She's not very tall. She's only 5 foot. She's an orthodox boxer, but Amanda Serrano, can't take her on the money line. I'm going to take her to get the finish, KO TKO at minus 175 here. She has more power in the punches, and I just think she has more ways to win, more variety in her punches as well. And, you know, although both women have tremendous jabs, I just think Serrano, she has more pop behind her jabs. So, you know, Renita Tellez, you know, she's a late replacement for this girl. Erica Cruz was the original opponent for for Puerto Rico.
Serrano will
but
take on all newcomers. She don't care.
exactly, and you know, she was forced out of the main event, failing a doping test. Poop. 3 weeks of the preparation for Tellez. That's you're not gonna beat Amanda Serrano on 3 weeks' notice. Maybe you do. I don't think so. So yeah, I'm gonna take Amanda Serrano via KO TKO at -170.
Nice. Did you say the co-main event as well?
No,
Then
I
we
did
got
not.
Holly Holm fighting, bro.
I know. I didn't want to touch it.
Oh my god. I mean, yeah, I'll back Holly Holm just for the hell of it.
-200. She's against Stephanie Han. Do you know who her opponent?
She's chalk. I don't know too much Stephanie Hahn too much, really. I saw Holly Holm there. I was like, man, you know, you gotta back our girl.
Yeah.
So it's probably Holly Holm decision. You know, I would have to, if you said she's -200.
Yeah, -200, and Stephanie Han is, let me see, at plus 170.
But yeah, I mean, to get some value for, you got Amanda Serrano getting the knockout. I'll go with the co-main event. Holly Holm becomes WBA lightweight champion via decision.
I like the Holly Holm fight to go the distance at -450, but if you take Holly Holmes to win by decision, it's -120, which I do like. I think decision win over Han, you know, she has the speed, probably has the power as well, and you know, I don't know. I'm gonna take her. Yeah,
35 years of age. She's 11-0, 3-star ranked boxer on BoxRec. She's lost only her. She hasn't in any amateur fights lost any.
No.
She doesn't
Han
have
did get
any,
dropped in her previous fight.
She doesn't have. She has 3 knockouts, 3 TKOs in her career. So the power threat might not really be there. Her size. Let's see if there's going to be a big weight or height discrepancy. I mean, obviously not weight, but she's 5'7.5". Holly Holm is a lot taller. Isn't she closer to 6 foot? No, she's 5'9". So, I mean, she will have the height and reach advantage. So let's see if she just takes full use of that. You know, she's always going to come in good shape. I don't think age is really caught up to Holly Holm. That's why I think she's a safe bet. If you're telling me -120 for her in decision, I'd take that.
Yeah, I like that as well. Maybe even the underdog, Han, getting the win.
Ooh.
Holly Holm's not who she once was, kid.
No, but it's boxing. She doesn't have to worry about getting kicked or grappled. When she's able to just open up her game, it's like Stephen Wonderboy. Once you get him in a kickboxing ring, I mean, he's going to be hard to beat, and Holly Holm might be the same.
Yeah, no, I agree. Kid, thank you so much. We are just 3 weeks away from UFC 324, Justin Gaethje versus Patty Pimblett, but we'll be back next week. Who knows what we'll talk about? It doesn't really fucking matter. We'll have picks on anything that comes out. We'll break down the latest news as well. But kid, any last words before we get up out of here?
Oh, just like I said, look ahead to what we could talk about. You got a little octagon, a little, I think maybe a little KFC, a little boxing, KSW. I mean, yeah, there's, you know, we're sure to pick up the slack and any overseas events and everything. So we got our picks out for that stuff. We'll keep you tuned in.
Kid, thank you so much. This was really fun. And like the words of Jerry Springer, take care of yourself and each other. Peace.